Imagine discovering that beneath America's peaceful forests and mountains lies a vast underground world, filled with advanced machines, terrifying beings, and hidden civilizations. This was the shocking claim of Richard Sharpe Shaver, a man whose strange writings in the 1940s set off one of the greatest mysteries in American paranormal history. Shaver spoke of the Deros, degenerate, evil creatures lurking in massive subterranean caverns, using forgotten alien technology to manipulate and torment humanity. He claimed these beings caused wars, disasters, even personal suffering, all while remaining hidden below our feet. Some dismissed him as delusional. Others believed he revealed a terrifying truth we were never meant to know. Tonight, we're diving into the Shaver mystery, a chilling tale of underground alien civilizations, secret control of humanity, and the possibility that something ancient still thrives deep inside the earth. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for more mysteries. Who was Richard Sharpe Shaver? Richard Sharpe Shaver was not a famous scientist, not a politician, and not even a writer by trade. He was a factory worker in Pennsylvania during the 1930s, living an ordinary life until something extraordinary happened. Shaver claimed he began hearing voices inside the welding machine he worked with. These weren't hallucinations, he insisted, but direct transmissions from an underground race. At first, people thought he was insane. But Shaver held firmly to his story, that these voices revealed secrets of a lost civilization, advanced technology, and ancient beings that lived beneath the earth. His accounts would later explode into popularity when published by Ray Palmer in Amazing Stories magazine. Overnight, Shaver went from obscure factory worker to the center of America's strangest science fiction and paranormal debate. Was he just a troubled man? Or the whistleblower of the biggest hidden truth in history? The origins of the underground race. Shaver's story begins not with humans, but with ancient alien colonists. According to him, tens of thousands of years ago, a superior alien race known as the Elder Race came to Earth. They were incredibly advanced, with technology capable of space travel, mind control, and genetic manipulation. These beings built vast underground cities, protected from Earth's harsh surface conditions at the time. But eventually, Shaver claimed, the Elder Race abandoned Earth, fleeing to another planet in search of a healthier sun. Not all of them left, though. Some remained behind, slowly degenerating over time. Their descendants became the Deros, short for detrimental robots. They weren't mechanical robots, but corrupted beings who misused the incredible machines left by their ancestors. These Deros, according to Shaver, turned their focus on us, manipulating human life from the shadows. If true, humanity might not be in control of its own destiny. The Deros and their powers. The Deros were the nightmare of Shaver's story. He described them as twisted, deformed humanoids, malicious creatures living in enormous underground labyrinths stretching beneath America and the entire world. What made them so dangerous wasn't just their hatred for surface humans, but the machines they controlled. Shaver said they had access to ray technology, devices capable of causing pain, insanity, or even influencing thoughts. With these death rays and mind rays, Deros supposedly tormented humanity on a mass scale, causing everything from accidents to wars. Shaver claimed that countless personal misfortunes, illness, sudden violence, unexplained voices, were the result of these underground manipulators. According to him, the Deros fed on human suffering like parasites. To most, this sounded like pure delusion. But readers of his stories began to wonder, could there be some truth behind Shaver's descriptions of hidden tormentors? Could the nightmares of humanity really come from below? The Teo, humanity's allies below. Not all underground beings in Shaver's tales were evil. Alongside the Deros, he spoke of another group, the Teo, short for integrative robots. Unlike their twisted cousins, the Teo sought peace and balance. They were descendants of the same ancient alien race but had resisted degeneration. The Teo, Shaver said, sometimes tried to protect humanity from the cruel experiments of the Deros. He described the underground world as a battleground, with Deros and Teo locked in an endless struggle, one that spilled over into human life above. According to Shaver, when someone experienced a miraculous recovery, a sudden stroke of good luck, or an unexplained moment of protection, it was often thanks to the intervention of the Tao. While the Deros thrived on chaos, the Tao sought to preserve harmony. This cosmic battle beneath our feet made Earth itself a stage for a hidden war we could barely sense. Ray Palmer and Amazing Stories. Shaver's bizarre claims might have remained unknown if not for one man, Ray Palmer, editor of the popular pulp magazine Amazing Stories. In 1945, Palmer published Shaver's account in a story called I Remember Lemuria. Though presented as fiction, Shaver insisted it was fact. The issue became one of the magazine's bestsellers, sparking what would later be known as the Shaver mystery craze. Readers across America were captivated. Letters poured in, and not just from fans, but from people claiming they too had experienced strange voices, underground encounters, or mysterious attacks that matched Shaver's descriptions. Was he tapping into a collective hidden truth? Palmer fueled the fire, publishing more of Shaver's writings and presenting them as a blend of fact and fantasy. The phenomenon spread like wildfire, creating one of the most controversial debates in science fiction history. Was Shaver insane, or had Palmer helped him reveal the unthinkable? The public reaction. The Shaver mystery divided America. On one hand, Amazing Stories saw record sales, with thousands of readers writing letters in support of Shaver's claims. Some swore they too had been victims of the Deros, describing strange encounters, unexplainable illnesses, or tormenting voices that mirrored Shaver's accounts. Others accused Palmer of exploiting a mentally ill man for profit. Mainstream scientists dismissed the whole thing as delusion mixed with science fiction. But the more critics attacked, the more intrigued the public became. Was this simply pulp entertainment, or the accidental revelation of a terrifying underground truth? UFO researchers, paranormal enthusiasts, and conspiracy theorists began linking Shaver's claims to sightings of flying saucers, government secrecy, and ancient mysteries. What made the Shaver mystery so powerful wasn't just its wildness, but the possibility that so many people seemed to resonate with his terrifying underground tale. Connections to UFOs and government secrets. The Shaver mystery didn't stay confined to pulp magazines. As the UFO craze exploded in the late 1940s and 1950s, some researchers drew connections between Shaver's underground Deros and alien sightings in the skies. Could UFOs be the crafts of the elder race or even modern-day Tao? Could abductions and strange lights be linked to the same underground technology Shaver described? Others suggested government officials took the story seriously behind the scenes. Rumors spread that secret military bases, like those at Mount Weather or even Area 51, weren't just about national defense but tied to monitoring underground activity. Shaver himself insisted his story wasn't fantasy. He claimed to have physically visited some of these caverns, guided by voices, and witnessed the machines in action. If even part of what he described was true, then Earth might be home to an alien war hidden in plain sight. The critics and the fall of the mystery. Despite its popularity, the Shaver mystery eventually faced overwhelming criticism. Scientists, psychologists, and skeptics accused Shaver of schizophrenia or delusion. Newspapers mocked the stories as pulp trash. Even some science fiction writers complained that Palmer had lowered the credibility of their genre by mixing fantasy with supposed fact. By the 1950s, Amazing Stories moved away from publishing Shaver's accounts, and public fascination began to fade. Richard Shaver himself never backed down, though. He continued writing, painting, and insisting his experiences were real until his death in 1975. For many, the Shaver mystery was a fascinating cultural phenomenon, a case study in how science fiction, paranoia, and conspiracy could collide. For others, it was a tragic story of a man whose mental illness was exploited. Yet for believers, the truth of the underground civilizations remained unresolved, waiting beneath our feet. Strange evidence and modern connection. While mainstream science dismisses the Shaver mystery, intriguing evidence keeps the story alive. Across America, there are countless tales of mysterious underground sounds, booms, rumblings, and hums with no clear source. Places like Mount Shasta in California and the Mammoth Cave system in Kentucky are tied to legends of hidden cities, strange lights, and even disappearances. Conspiracy theorists point to deep underground military bases, dumps, as proof that the government knows more about subterranean life than it admits. Some UFO researchers suggest that Shaver's Deros were an early description of grey aliens, beings who manipulate humanity in secret. Others see parallels to Native American legends of underground races, like the Hopis and people. Whether Shaver stumbled onto a cosmic truth or created a mythology, his story strangely aligns with global traditions of beings living below us. Maybe he wasn't as delusional as skeptics believed. Why people still believe? Decades after Richard Shaver's death, the Shaver mystery continues to fascinate. Why? Because it taps into one of humanity's oldest fears, the unknown world beneath our feet. Every culture has legends of hidden races, demons underground, or gods dwelling in caves. Shaver gave that fear a modern, sci-fi twist, mixing aliens, advanced technology, and psychic control. His story also resonates because it explains the unexplainable. Why do tragedies strike at random? Why do people hear voices they can't explain? Why do governments hide so much about what lies beneath military bases? For some, Shaver provided an unsettling but strangely satisfying answer. Even today, forums, books, and researchers revisit his claims, debating whether he uncovered fragments of a terrifying truth. Whether hoax, delusion, or revelation, the Shaver mystery refuses to die, because the possibility it raises is too frightening to ignore. So, what do you think? Was Richard Shaver a troubled man spinning wild tales, or a whistleblower revealing secrets humanity was never meant to know? If his claims were true, then beneath America, and perhaps the entire Earth, lurks a vast network of caverns, ruled by twisted Deros feeding on our suffering, while hidden allies fight to protect us. Maybe UFO sightings, strange underground sounds, and government secrecy are all connected to the Shaver mystery. Or maybe it was simply one man's imagination gone too far. The line between science fiction and hidden truth has always been razor thin. And sometimes, the most unbelievable stories carry a shadow of reality. If there's one lesson from the Shaver mystery, it's this: the world beneath us might not be as empty as we think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into America's strangest mysteries.